Hello, welcome back to It's New. We all have kids and they're doing just fine. I know you're all curious about that. They're doing fine. You don't worry. But
I'm not fine. Are you fine?
do I look fine?
Thanks for having me back, Barry.
Fine and fit.
I'm waiting for the apology. Go ahead.
I'm sorry for making fun of your subscribers, and I accepted my 1-day ban of the show.
Okay, we'll let you back, but you're on probation, all right? You can only cover 2 stories today.
Okay.
Morty, what are you covering?
Guess who's coming to dinner? Discover who it is.
Greg?
Google Ads demand generates new metrics for a campaign type.
And Google Merchant Center has new product specs. Google Business Profiles is showing messaging clicks and some other weirdness from the Google Business Profile API. Yada, yada, yada. Morty, whenever you're ready.
So this was picked up by Gianluca Fiorelli and Clara Soteris. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they were at an event and Google announced, hey, guess who's coming to dinner? Google Discover's coming to desktop. Which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not sure I like it. First off, I felt like the whole Discover thing was a way of like getting to the whole social media custom feed kind of thing, which works way more on mobile. And then on top of that, you already have like overviews, AI mode, now Discover. It's like, Tomas, just pick one thing.
Anyway, with Google Discover, so we saw this actually a few years ago where Google was showing Google Discover on the Google desktop homepage. I actually saw it for a little bit, which is weird because I pretty much never get Discover because I don't go to the Google homepage on my mobile device. And then, so Clara and Giuliano went ahead and said, hey, Google announced this and it's coming soon. Just a week ago, Talk About SEO on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, said he was opted into a test where it says, a new way to explore your interest. Turn it on or turn it off. So he turned it on. It was Google Discover on the Google homepage. So yes, Google's been testing this for a couple of years and it seems like it might be coming really soon. So now I'll let Greg out of probation so he can actually go ahead and talk about it.
No, I can't believe it's not on desktop yet. Like this is their flagship thing. They're trying to always add more inventory. And up till now, it's just been mobile. It's very strange.
Yes.
Although I could also see people not liking it when you get to just Google and
I hated it. I was opted in like 2 years ago to this, and I'm like, I want to get rid of it, and eventually went away, so I was happy. But
do you use it on mobile?
I try not to. I'm not a big scroller, doom scroller. I don't do that well.
I think it's one of those things. If you have a Pixel phone, it's like so baked into it that you probably use it.
I'm weird. I doom scroll. Like I'd rather doom scroll on that than on Facebook.
Yeah, it's like it does a decent job customizing stuff towards you. And then
I see clickbait stuff at the Yankees all the time, and Barry.
More ad space too.
Anyway, let's talk about demand gen.
Okay, this came out, I believe, Friday of last week, but it was spotted in the wild, an update to some of the Google help around demand gen, and there is a new conversion column called Platform Comparable that is only for demand gen campaigns, and this is. If you don't know what demand gen is, it kind of goes out across Google owned and operated, and now is going to have display included in there. But it's really top of funnel or tofu type targeting, where you're not getting the middle funnel, like, hey, I'm looking for a specific product, or bottom funnel, I'm looking for brand or brand plus product or a very specific product. And when you compare something like Meta, where all Meta does is it just has these touch points out on social, demand gen looks really bad. Because Google has all these different mid-funnel and bottom-of-funnel options that other platforms don't have. So Google is changing the way that they are, not changing the way, let me rephrase that. They're adding a different way to report conversions, where instead of looking and saying, oh, I'm going to give shopping part credit, and I'm going to give search part credit, and I'm going to give branded search part credit, and then demand gen is sort of like left to get the scraps, they're going to count demand gen and give full credit to demand gen so that, if it's a shopping touch, a search touch, and a demand gen touch, but demand gen was first, they'll get a full credit. So essentially you can try to compare your demand gen campaigns to Meta or Pinterest or some of these platforms that really honestly over-report everything because they can't see those further touches. They can't see any of the Google search. And honestly, Google has too many options. So they're saying, let's just look at demand gen like it is its own thing and forget all those other touch points out there. And if you want to see more, I just wrote a blog post up on Cypress North, and you can see my take on that further.
Sounds great. Morty's a little bit uncomfortable. The amount of times you said touch points and touches. It's
I was going to make a joke, and I can't
I had
say
to ruin
it.
it for you.
I thought you were going to make a tofu joke.
I was going to make a Catholic priest joke, but probably edit that out.
Anyway.
All right. And then on some allegedly good news, I'll say, cautiously so, there was a big post over on Search Engine Land talking about Google Ads frustration with poor support, to which Ginny Marvin, the Google Ads liaison, hopped on to X and say that they have ongoing efforts to improve experiences and outcomes from millions of businesses and agencies around the world, and then covers a whole bunch of help documents. But basically that they are trying to get better on the ad support side of things. I appreciate this, but it's one of those things that, sometimes it's hard to listen to them because their actions are speaking so loud. So they have had a lot of improvements here lately, and hopefully that this does come to fruition.
Yeah, the one little line at the beginning, which is I'm familiar with many of these concerns from my years prior to joining Google, and now have an internal perspective as well. Internal perspective. Ginny, are you turning?
No, she's not going to turn.
She seems like she's turning. I don't know.
She better not turn.
Oh,
We'll
boy.
see. I think she's turned.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
no. We've gotten a lot of really great stuff lately. We have search terms in PMAX. We have negatives in PMAX. Not only do we have 100 negatives, we have 10,000 negatives now. We have negative keyword lists coming. We have the ability to target by device. We have the ability to see segmentation.
We get it. You love
coming.
Google. You want to be Greg of the year.
I don't. I am honest though.
Wait, I'm just like I'm glad you're defending Ginny, but you'll come on Barry's own show and bash Barry and his super follows, but you won't say a bad word about Google.
His super follows need help.
Well,
to his credit,
penalty.
he just put out a post yesterday that if you have a YouTube channel, is very, very helpful to you, and it's something that I've been talking with Barry and I'm using now, and that's all I want. I want for his subscribers to get very good content because I'm one of his subscribers.
Okay.
That post you put out yesterday is worth it. Go subscribe to Barry.
Any event, let's move on to Merchant Center. So Google updated some of its Merchant Center product specifications. Some went into effect yesterday, including stopping supporting price attributes for down payments on product with installment pricing. Google is going to use a new energy efficient class attribute, which will be placed in the EU countries using a different certification attribute. Google also added a number of new shipping attributes, which you should check out. And that went up live April 8th, which is yesterday. And then on July 1st, more changes are coming around its guidance for member pricing, as well as removing some sales tax attributes. So definitely take a look at that because these probably do affect you or will affect you in the near future. I posted about that on April 9th, and I'm using some Midjourney version 7 images. So I don't know if you saw these images, some of the people, realistic people, and also some of the non-people images are looking really, really amazing. So take a look at that. Unrelated to Merchant Center. Google Business Profiles seems to be rolling out a new, kind of old performance report called Messaging Clicks. This is spotted by Brandon Schmidt, a local SEO, who said using the new text messaging feature on Google Business Profiles, Google might be providing more performance data showing how many people clicked on those messaging clicks. And he showed a report of that in action. I turned off my messaging in Google Business Profiles. Maybe I should turn it back on to check it out. But Google had this feature back in 2020 when it was Google My Business. Then they got rid of it, and now it seems to be back. Well, I think the previous version just showed you the messages, not the clicks, but now it's showing you clicks from messages, which is pretty cool.
Why did you turn it off?
Because I think they were making changes to it, and I don't want to miss anything. And then if you miss stuff, it looks bad for your performance. So I don't know. I probably could turn it on. I sit by my computer all day, and I probably can answer it. But I know it's going to be a bunch of SEOs trying to troll me, like Morty.
Oh,
I got so much.
You have to turn it back on.
There's so much spam that comes through the messaging.
Yeah.
Through me?
Yeah. If you don't answer the spam, you get.
This guy named Mordy is constantly messaging weird pics of himself. It's really disturbing.
Yeah.
So,
good stuff.
Anyway, which is weird. This next one was spotted by Henry Heredia. I'm probably putting it wrong. Anyway,
I know Henry.
Okay, well, he's noticed that in the Google Business Profile API, when you pull in the directions, like the direction request metrics, like how many people are actually clicking on your directions button. It's showing data for service area businesses. SABs do not have a directions button, meaning you can't drive to a service area business because usually their business is at home or whatever. So how are people getting driving directions to SABs, and where's this data coming from? He wants to know. And there's a number of people actually complaining about it as to him. So it is weird to see this. I wonder if it's some type of like data glitch, or maybe it was turned on for a bit where it wasn't a service area business and it was later. I'm not sure. But just keep an eye if you are noticing weird data in the API around that. You were definitely not alone. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to It's New. We're back tomorrow with more It's New. Stay tuned, subscribe, and make sure to subscribe to Greg's channel and also Mordy's channel, but more so Greg because he now likes my subscription based
Highly
Twitter
recommend.
feed. Highly
Best value on the internet.
Best. Anyway,
That seems like a Ponzi scheme, by the way. Just letting everybody know.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.